Hey everyone. Ready to dive into something I think we all struggle with a bit?
I'm ready. What are we looking at today?
Well, today we're tackling a big one, navigating life's uncertainties.
Oh, that is a big one.
A lot of you have shared you're looking for ways to better handle all those unexpected twists and turns life throws at us.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
And I think we found just the thing to help us unpack this.
Awesome.
We're going deep on an excerpt today from Navigating Life's Uncertainties, Embracing the Unknown with Resilience and Optimism.
Okay.
And get this, right off the bat, it kind of throws out this powerful idea. Life's unpredictability.
Yeah.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Right. It kind of makes you think, maybe instead of fighting uncertainty all the time,
Right.
maybe we should learn how to, dance with it.
Yeah, I like that. It's so natural to crave stability.
Oh, absolutely.
But this excerpt really argues that constantly trying to control every little thing,
Yeah.
it can actually just make our anxiety worse.
I can see that.
Because we end up resisting the natural flow of life.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So what if, and hear me out here,
Okay.
what if accepting that uncertainty, that we can't control everything,
Yeah.
what if that could be the key to unlocking new possibilities?
I'm intrigued.
Right.
But honestly, doesn't that sound a bit passive?
Oh, how do you mean?
Like just letting life happen to us,
Oh, well, not at all. It's not about being passive.
Okay.
It's more about recognizing that we simply don't have control over every single outcome.
I see.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
You've got a rigid tree in a big storm, it's way more likely to snap, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But a willow bends with the wind. It adapts to those changing forces.
Okay.
And this excerpt is suggesting that embracing uncertainty is like developing that willow-like flexibility in our own lives.
So are we talking about building resilience?
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard that term so much, but I'm not always sure I fully get it.
Yeah, it's one of those buzzwords. So the excerpt defines emotional resilience as the ability to adapt to challenges and bounce back with a sense of hope.
Okay.
It's not about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's about equipping ourselves to move through those rough patches without getting totally swept away.
I like that.
And there's this really practical example that I really liked.
Oh, what is it?
It says, we can't control everything about our health,
True.
but we can make choices that support our well-being.
Right. Okay.
That's resilience in action,
I like that.
you see.
It's about focusing on what we can control, even when there's a lot of uncertainty.
Exactly.
But the excerpt also talks about change being like a catalyst for growth. That seems kind of counterintuitive, don't you think?
Yeah. How so?
Change usually feels so messy and stressful.
It definitely can be.
Right.
But this excerpt is saying that change,
Yeah.
even when it's uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
it can actually push us beyond our comfort zones and lead to some incredible personal growth. Think about it this way.
Okay.
We wouldn't build any physical strength if we never challenged our muscles.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, no pain, no gain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the same way, navigating uncertainty,
Yeah.
it strengthens our mental and emotional muscles
Oh.
so we can adapt and grow.
So it's like a workout for our minds.
You could say that. And actually, this reminds me of Carol Dweck's work on the growth mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, it's about seeing challenges as opportunities for learning.
Right.
It's okay.
It's about shifting our thinking from, I can't do this, to, I can learn how to do this.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Right. So when we face uncertainty with that growth mindset,
Yeah.
we can see obstacles not as roadblocks,
Okay.
but as stepping stones on our path to becoming more resilient and resourceful.
I love that. That's a great point.
See?
But all this talk about change and uncertainty,
Yeah.
it can make my head spin, honestly.
Understandable.
How do we stay grounded when everything feels so chaotic?
Well, the excerpt highlights two practices that can really help. Gratitude and mindfulness.
Okay.
I know they might sound a little woo-woo,
Yeah, a little bit.
but there's actually tons of research that backs up their benefits.
Interesting.
Studies have shown that practicing gratitude, even in small ways,
Okay.
can really boost our happiness and resilience.
That makes sense.
It helps us shift our focus
Yeah.
from what we feel like we're lacking
Okay.
to what we already have,
Right.
which can be so grounding, especially when things feel uncertain.
So it's like an antidote to that what-if spiral of anxiety.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
You get caught up in all those what ifs.
Yeah, totally.
But what about mindfulness? What do you think about when you hear that word?
I guess I think about meditation mostly.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Right.
Mindfulness is definitely a key part of meditation,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also something we can practice all day long.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about bringing our attention to the present moment
That-
without judgment.
Ah,
So it's
okay.
about noticing our breath, what we're sensing around us, our surroundings,
Yeah, okay.
and just being present with what is,
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting lost in worries about the future or dwelling on the past.
Right. So being in the now.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. But the excerpt also mentions that uncertainty can sometimes really shake our sense of purpose.
Oh, definitely.
Like we've completely lost our compass, you know?
Yeah, I've felt that.
I've definitely been there. So, how do we find our way back when we're feeling lost like that? With all these unknowns?
That's where having a strong sense of purpose can be so helpful.
Okay.
It acts as this anchor, providing direction and meaning even when things feel really turbulent.
Okay, but what if we aren't even sure what our purpose is? How are we supposed to figure that out when everything feels uncertain?
That is such an important question.
Right.
And honestly, it's a journey that might unfold slowly for us.
Hmm.
Your purpose, it could be tied to your relationships, your passions, a cause you believe in,
Yeah.
or honestly, a mix of all of those things.
So it's not necessarily this like grand predefined thing,
Exactly.
but something that we kind of uncover through exploring and paying attention to what resonates with us.
You got it. And sometimes those periods of uncertainty we were talking about,
Yeah,
those can actually help us get clear on our priorities and what really matters to us.
I can see that. I've definitely found that to be true myself. But let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Facing uncertainty, it can be downright scary.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like we're standing at the edge of the unknown,
Hmm.
and it's so tempting to just stay put in our comfort zone.
It's totally understandable to feel that way.
Right.
But the excerpt makes this really compelling argument for why we shouldn't let fear hold us back.
Oh, interesting.
It says there's actually beauty in the unknown.
Beauty in the unknown. Okay, you got to explain this one.
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Some of life's greatest joys, like falling in love, making those really deep friendships, those
Mhm.
aha moments of discovery,
Yeah.
those often come from the most unexpected places.
Sure.
You might plan a trip, sure,
Right.
but then the most memorable moments,
Yeah.
they're often those unplanned detours, the spontaneous adventures, right?
That's so true.
So this excerpt is encouraging us to embrace that perspective
Okay.
and really live more fully,
Hmm.
appreciating both the highs and the lows.
Right.
Because within all that unpredictability,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much potential for experiences that could honestly change our lives in the most beautiful ways.
So it's about shifting our mindset from fear to curiosity.
Exactly.
Instead of asking, what if something bad happens?
Yeah,
What if we ask, what if something amazing happens?
I love that.
Right. It's like choosing to see the unknown as an invitation to adventure instead of like a threat to our safety.
Yeah, it's a totally different way of looking at it.
But how do we actually make that shift?
Right.
It's easy to say, embrace the unknown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But actually putting it into practice feels a little daunting.
You're absolutely right. It's not about denying the challenges
Right.
or pretending everything's going to be perfect. It's about recognizing that uncertainty is just a part of life
Okay.
and that within that uncertainty,
Yeah.
there's potential for incredible growth and joy and discovery.
The excerpt really emphasizes that point.
Yeah.
It talks about how some of life's greatest gifts, love, friendship, those aha moments,
Mhm.
they often come from the most unexpected places. It's like that saying, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
So true. And think about it. Haven't some of your most cherished memories
Mm-hmm.
come from those unplanned moments?
Yeah.
The spontaneous adventures, the chance encounters, the times when you just went with the flow.
Oh, for sure.
Those are the stories we tell over and over again, right?
It's funny how those moments that initially feel like disruptions or detours
Yeah.
often turn out to be the highlights of our lives.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what this excerpt is encouraging us to do. Embrace the beauty of the unknown.
It's not about ignoring those tough emotions, though, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's not about pretending everything's fine.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging them,
Mm-hmm.
letting ourselves really feel them,
Right.
and then choosing to move forward with hope and a sense of possibility.
So it's about resilience again, that ability to bounce back even when things are rough.
Exactly. And remember, resilience, it's a muscle we build over time
Okay.
by facing challenges and learning from our experiences.
Makes sense.
The more we embrace uncertainty,
Mm-hmm.
the stronger and more adaptable we become.
This is all making so much sense. But I have to admit,
Yep.
there's still a part of me that wants to just hold on tight to control,
I hear that.
to plan everything perfectly, avoid all
I
surprises.
totally get it. It's a very human thing.
Right.
But the excerpt argues that trying to control everything can actually keep us from really experiencing life to the fullest.
No, interesting.
It's like clinging to a rigid itinerary on a trip and missing out on all the spontaneous adventures that could happen along the way.
So it's about letting go of that need for total certainty
Yeah.
and allowing ourselves to be open to the unexpected.
Exactly. When we release that need to control everything,
Hmm.
we open ourselves up to a whole new way of experiencing life.
I like that.
It's more fluid, adaptable,
Yeah.
and ultimately more fulfilling.
Okay, so let's recap what we've talked about.
Okay.
First, uncertainty is a natural part of life. It's not something to be feared.
Right.
Second, building emotional resilience helps us navigate all those ups and downs with grace and strength.
Third, having a strong sense of purpose gives us direction and meaning, even when things feel uncertain.
And lastly, connecting with others gives us support and reminds us that we're not alone in all of this.
Exactly. And the key takeaway,
Yeah.
the golden thread running through all of this,
Mhm.
is embracing the beauty of the unknown. It helps us live more fully, appreciate the highs and the lows,
Yep.
and recognize that those unpredictable moments,
Mhm.
they often hold some of life's greatest gifts.
It's about shifting from a mindset of fear to a mindset of curiosity and wonder. It's like we're trading in those rigid maps we love
Yeah.
for a compass instead,
Yeah.
and trusting that it'll point us in the right direction, even when we can't see the path ahead, you know?
That's a beautiful way to think about it.
This deep dive has really given us a lot to think about.
It really has.
But before we wrap up,
yeah.
I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
What's that?
That idea of shifting from a fear-based mindset to one of curiosity and possibility,
Oh, yeah.
it's a big shift.
Huge.
And it feels like it's at the heart of what this excerpt is all about.
Definitely. It's about choosing to see the unknown as an opportunity
Yeah.
for growth, for adventure, maybe even for, like, magic.
Speaking of magic,
Mm-hmm.
the excerpt actually tells this story
Oh, yeah.
about a woman who found her dream career after a bunch of unexpected events totally changed her path. It wasn't what she had planned at all.
No kidding.
It just shows that sometimes our greatest discoveries,
Yeah.
they happen when we're open to those unexpected detours life throws our way.
That's such a good example.
Yeah.
It really drives home the point.
Right.
It's about surrendering to the flow of life a little bit.
Yeah.
Trusting that even when things go off plan,
Mm-hmm.
we're still being guided towards something meaningful.
And that brings us to our final thought-provoking question for today.
Okay, Emmy.
What if, instead of fearing the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
you viewed it as an invitation
Ooh, I like that.
to experience life more fully, to step outside your comfort zone, embrace the unexpected,
Yeah.
trust that even when you can't see the path,
Mhm.
you're right where you need to be.
That's a beautiful question to sit with.
Right.
And it's a question that could honestly change everything.
I think so too.
Right.
Because when we shift from fear to curiosity, from control to acceptance,
Yeah.
we open ourselves up to a whole world of possibility.
Possibilities we might have missed otherwise.
Exactly. So as you navigate the uncertainties in your own life, remember this.
Okay.
The unknown isn't something to be scared of,
Right.
but something to embrace.
Mm.
It's in those unpredictable moments that we often discover our greatest strengths.
Our passions, our connections.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it's given you some helpful insights and new ways to look at things
Yeah, for sure.
to help you navigate all of life's uncertainties with a bit more confidence, resilience, and a sense of wonder.
Keep embracing the unknown, everyone.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the beautiful uncertainty of life.